Clock at 1073. Good morning. It's Monday, and I was just gonna sit in my apartment this morning and not go anywhere, just sit in my room. But I've got some friends that need help moving house, so I'm gonna go do that for like an hour or two, which means I'm out and about, which means I needed something to eat. So I got a tiny little terrible espresso and pain au chocolat. But it made me think about, I think I might have shared this story before, but how when I first moved to Paris like 5 or 6 years ago, when I first ended up in this neighborhood, how I found the bakery that I just went to and was like, oh man, there's this great bakery around the corner. It even says artisan bakery on the sign, which must mean that it's like super legit. But the thing is, I mean, I was really happy with it for a long time, and then of course as I got more accustomed to really good croissants and baguettes and just French baked goods in general, kind of lost its luster because it's not that good. It's actually kind of, but one of the benefits and lessons learned that you can apply if you're coming to France is that if you're not used to, French baked deliciousness, then most any bakery in town is going to hit a pretty high note for you. I mean, unless your standards are already pretty high going into it, you're going to be pretty happy no matter where you end up. And I think people often ask me like where the best this, that, or the other thing is, but the nice thing is that wherever you end up, you're probably going to find something that you like. And the same thing that I was yesterday, Oliver and I got a little bent out of shape because we were really frustrated with how we were treated at the place we went to yesterday for our beer. But it was another good reminder. He had a guest on that made a comment about how like any terrace you find, as long as you have a good friend and something cold to drink, and you can watch the world pass you by, it's a great day to be in Paris, right? And I think that's also really important to remember, that it doesn't have to be the best or the highest quality or the fanciest or the nicest environment. You can make the most out of any situation, even if your wait staff are kind of jerks. As long as you're with somebody that you enjoy, you can at least make fun of the wait staff and make fun of everything. You just have a good time and still enjoy it and have a good beer. And we did yesterday. Like Oliver and I definitely had a good time yesterday, just hanging out after the live stream, and we had a great time with those of you that made it to the live stream, so thanks for watching and hanging out with that. And those are my thoughts on the whole, the whole potential of over snobifying in time. You know what? Just make the most of what you got in front of you, enjoy it, and life just is better. I'll probably fast forward to being back in my apartment. I'm gonna go move some stuff now, but I'll be right back. But on that note, now that I have gotten into this, life is too short for bad pastries and bad coffee, and these are terrible. I wasn't going to film it all while we were moving, but we're finding all sorts of ancient gems in Paul's cave in their underground. Nice. And also a lot of trash. I did not mean to go for 2 selfie cam days in a row, but that's just the way it's working out. One of the things, so we got a bunch of stuff moved there. The short story of that is that Paul and Danielle, who are part owners of the Peloton Cafe and Bike About Tours. I will be going on another one of the Bike About Tours again here soon as well. Just in case you're going on any bike tours while you're in Paris, make sure you go with Bike About Tours and make sure that you tell them that I sent you, because that makes a big difference in my life as well, obviously. Because they pay me if I send you. I mean, that's just the flat out. But anyways, I went over there. I've known them for a few years now, and went to try and help just move some boxes and so forth, because they're moving into a new apartment, not far from their current apartment, but they've been in their current apartment for 12 years, which is nuts. It's hard to believe that. I mean, that's kind of crazy for a number of reasons. I mean, they've been there since before they had kids, and they're moving into a new place where they'll actually have space for all their kids now. But it's pretty cool just to see the establishment of it. Paul and I were talking about it because Paul and I end up talking about business stuff all the time, and really how neat it is to see that change, and how he was saying he feels like it's really helpful in a way that we all went through the period of time where we came here. We didn't have any money. We didn't really know what we were doing, but we wanted to be in Paris. We loved being in Paris, and we did whatever it took to stay here, and how that can turn into a life here if it works out, and how encouraging it is to know that it can work out, but also just how much it sweetens the fact that we're here. There are so many places like back in America for him in New Zealand where I feel like I could have moved and started a life, and it would have been a challenge in and of itself. Like any restarting of a life is a challenge, but not the same kind of challenge as coming to a city like this that is just so ridiculously unwelcoming to newcomers, as far as finding an apartment, finding work, being legal to work here, all of it. And it does make it sweet, and it's one of those things that I need to stop and take the time to really fully and deeply appreciate just how far things have come, and the fact that I feel very established here, and that I have a home, and that I get to live in the city that I've always loved, but not just temporarily, but like this is this is where I get to be. If I want to be here, this is where I can be. And I'm so fortunate and I'm so grateful for that. So that's kind of the mood that got set by the conversation that we had as we were moving boxes out of the cellar and discovering all sorts of random stuff like old coffee machines and CD players and whatever else. And so, yeah, it just left me really kind of thinking about that. And one of the reasons that I'm looking forward to the changes that are coming, I've been talking about them, and I'll probably just keep talking about it until it happens, because both I want to make sure everybody knows that they're coming, but also because I need to be ready for it myself. And part of the way I get ready for that is by talking about it with you. But I think one of the things that I miss about living here without having to vlog every day is that there is something about the daily vlogging that takes you out of the present moment and that takes you out of the ability to just sit and relax and enjoy certain things and certain times and certain experiences, because you got to get up and you got to run somewhere to film something really quickly, like with the fireworks at Vaux-le-Vicomte. You know, like I look forward to going back and just watching those and enjoying them instead of being like, oh geez, like, well, since we're here, I should probably go film, and like sprinting as far and as fast as I could to get the chateau and the fireworks in the shot. This is not a complaint, by the way. I really enjoy doing that. And to be honest, it's those moments where I sprint, where I, leave friends while they're eating to go film a little bit of Fête de la Musique and try to find some interesting concerts to shoot, or just dash off to film the fireworks because I know I can get a better angle and I gotta go now and I gotta be on it and move and act, in the moment or I'm gonna miss it. I really like those moments a lot because they really feel very proactive, very much like capturing a very special moment. They feel very out of the routine, out of the mundane, and I really, really like that. So it's kind of funny. I have two very polar sets of feelings about it, because on the one hand, I really, really love those moments and I feel proactive and creative and I really enjoy them. And then on the other hand, I know that there's an element to it that I'm missing because I'm being proactive and creative instead of fully immersing myself and enjoying it for what it is and just taking it in and letting it be a memory without having to capture that memory on camera. And so it's kind of fascinating because I feel like I'm ready for the changes that are going to come. I'm ready to slow down a little bit. I'm ready to take a breather and try to figure out what comes next, make some plans, make some adjustments, and move forward with those. But I'm also going to miss it, and I'm going to miss those stretching times and those challenging shots to get in the videos that are harder to make than others. And maybe I'll come back to it. Maybe daily video will be in my life again in a year or two or something like that, because it is really, really fun. And maybe I just need to rest and recuperate, have actual off seasons instead of just doing it nonstop. I've been doing this nonstop for over 2 years now, I think. No, I guess I've been doing this nonstop for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in July. I don't even remember now when exactly the markers are, but just like nonstop every day. I'm so glad that I've shown up every day and done it without fail, and I feel like I've accomplished something, and I feel like I've done something really cool. And I am looking forward to then taking a break, not because I don't like doing the video, but because I think it'll help me to look around a little bit more and appreciate what I have and what I've built, and to appreciate the life that I have here in Paris and the friends and the experiences that are available to me that would not have been available to me without all of that work. I think that's kind of what I'm thinking about. It's a very grateful feeling. For me, I feel very appreciative of my past self for making the decisions that I've made and the sacrifices that I've made, and recognizing okay, so there's another thought, and maybe I'll leave it with this because I don't want to go on forever, but I sat down, I've been asked many times, and I'm curious to know what you think in the comments below, and maybe I'll make a video more dedicated to this later for the people that didn't make it this far into the video, which is probably a good chunk of people. But one of the interests that people have expressed regularly over the last couple of years is wanting a book of some sort to read about my time, my experiences in getting here, what that looks like, what the risks I took were, some stories, vignettes. I'm not entirely sure what people are thinking and expecting, so of course feel free to let me know below if there are any examples you have of what you would be interested in reading, or what stories in particular, anything. You just let me know what you're thinking below. But in sitting down and kind of drafting out some ideas and looking at the past, especially the past 3 to 5 years, and recognizing a lot of the risks and challenges I took, a lot of the failures, a lot of the successes, and a lot of the cycles. That's what I wasn't expecting but seeing a lot of the cycles, many of which were unhealthy, that I got myself into, that I had to get out of in order to get to where I'm at today, or that I got to where I'm at today because I was getting out of them. I'm not really sure how to define that yet because I need to dive deeper into it, but I'm so grateful for where I'm at in life and the fact that I've been able to leave some of those unhealthy things behind. And we experience the consequences of our decisions throughout life, but it's really cool to see that I've learned and grown as a result of those. And I don't know. I think that's another thing I'm looking forward to, is sitting down and kind of focusing on writing a little bit about that, just for the catharsis of it and just for the better understanding of myself. And I'm, of course, curious to know what it is that would interest you in reading something like that. What are the elements of my life that you would like to know more about, or that you think I could dive deeper into that you already know a fair amount about, but think that I would offer some different perspective in writing? I don't know. I'm curious. Let me know below, and I'll solicit opinions on that in the future, I'm sure. And I have a feeling that we'll tie it into Patreon as we go as well. And as well, one last thought, because I'll leave you here. I need to go for a run. It's kind of hot and I'm sweating in here, but I'm going to go for a run anyways. But my one last thought was thank you to my patrons. We're almost at 500 patrons, which is insane. I think it's like 497 or something as of this morning. Maybe not quite that many. Something around there, though. It's crazy. Thank you so much. You're a huge part of all of what I'm talking about today. The fact that the work that I do can exist and does exist is only because there are people out there like you who support the channel, who support the work, and who support the big plans and dreams and goals that I have for the future that I think we're all going to get something cool out of down the line. But the fact that you believe in me and make this even remotely possible is really, really cool. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm going to leave things here. I need to change out my shorts for some running shorts and go for a run, and I haven't been for a run yet. I haven't been for a run in like 4 or 5 days. I gotta get back in the habit of that, and I will see you right here bright and early tomorrow morning. Get back out there and go see some stuff in Paris and the game, and maybe go take a look at Notre Dame just for the heck of it, because I think I'll be down in that area, and I will see you tomorrow for that.